Hey, Robert, how are you? Did you get the new PDFs? Buddha, how you doing? Why is that, Ed? Anyway, you should. All right, well, they're at 1 o'clock on YouTube during the week. And there's a change in location and time for tonight. Tonight, it's not 7 p.m. It's going to have to be 7:30. And it will be on YouTube. Now, Ed, did you get the PDFs from last night? And Robert, I think that this is going to clarify a lot of different things here. What is that? Micro beats in micro. I don't know what micro beats are. I mean, I don't know what the hell that shit is, man. This is a right hand. Anyway, we'll talk about it. That sounds interesting. Okay, so like I promised last night, I would write out this from the syncopation book a preliminary exercise for the triplet rolls, how I was getting them. So if you go to the syncopation book and you have the PDFs, let me explain what I did. I don't have the PDFs out, so I'm just going to wing it, all right? Come on, hands. Man, this old age shit sucks. It really does. All right, let's go to, I believe it's page, come on. Oh, man. Yeah, page, I believe 4. Okay, now you see the PDFs, and you see a whole run of triplets with the rolls and the accents and whatever. Look at line 1. Okay? All right, line 1, you see, I said the triplets with the rolls and whatever, but you see the accents. Okay, the accents is the notation. Okay? If you just eliminate playing the triplets and just play the accents with the right hand, you'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay? We understand that so far? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all right, so now what I'm doing is I'm playing that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I'm filling in the triplet roll. 1 and 2. We got that? Jim, pay attention. Forget about those micro shit and all that nonsense. We'll get to that in a second. Ed, you understand that? Robert, do you understand that? Neither have I. What Facebook page do you go to, Jim? Send me the link. I'll check it out. Anyway, do you understand that? Robert, does it clarify it a little bit better? Line 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Robert? Okay, now you go to line 2. I'm just going to build it up here. Line 2, you have a quarter note rest and 3 quarter notes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look at the PDF. You see the accents on a count of 2, 3, 4. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and okay? Now, I'm filling it in with the triplet roll. So I have 1 and 2, I have 1 and 2 and 3. You understand that? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Does that clarify somewhat? All right, so line 2. I'm doing this slow. You know, I got a comment today. I've been selling a lot of stick control book formulas. Speaking of which, Ed, you need to purchase one, okay? I've been selling a lot, and I did, in a hurry, I did a few videos, and one guy puts it in my chat box. He goes, "Why don't you make a few videos or send me a few videos so I know you're not scamming me?" I said, all right, well, I figured, all right, he has a right to feel that way. I sent him a video, all right, formula number 18. And his response after he watched it, L, M, O, laughed my ass off. I mean, where's that coming from? So I said, all right, fine, go take your meds and leave me alone. Okay. All right, Jim, leave that alone, Jim. We'll talk about that another time, okay? Let's talk about the triplet roll. Everybody was having difficulty understanding where I got it from. And I go off. I'm not going to go off. I'm going to do the lesson. And at the end of the lesson, we could talk about whatever that is, okay? Now, line 2, you have the quarter note rest. If you look at the PDFs, you see, you'll see that other than the rolls, where the accents are is actually the quarter note from the page. Line 2 would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I put the triplet roll in there. I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and do we understand that? Okay, line number 3, you have a half note rest. The notation is 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You look at the PDF, you see the triplets there's 2 accents on the count of 3 and the count of 4. That's the notation on the syncopation book. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so now I do line 3 from the PDF. You have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we understand that, Jim, Ed, Robert, and whoever else is here? There's supposed to be. I clean my glasses. I can't see where the shit. Jesus Christ. 8 people in here. We have, hey, Horst. That's the first. That's page 4. You got the PDFs? And tonight, if you're going to come to the lesson, it's going to be on YouTube here at 7:30. That's page. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's going on with the lights? 4 of the syncopation book. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible in a preliminary interpretation for the workbook. because it gets a little bit more intense in the workbook. If you get the simplicity of it, we add on to it, or we make it grow, or we develop it. Okay? So now, again, let me go to line 4 this time. If you look at the PDF, you see you have the triplets with only one accent on it, and that's on the accent is on 4. That's where I got the exercise from line 4. All right, so if I played line 4 in the syncopation book, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's you'll see everything else is a roll except the count of 4. So I'm going to do nice and slow. Line 4 of the PDF and the stick control book is the same thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I stopped at the second measure. You understand it, Hoist? It clarifies it somewhat. Man, these glasses are all smothery. Hold on. Jesus. Oh, every day something. Every day. Oh, there you are, computer. You understand that? Okay, how about everybody else? They understand it. Now, I did go to stick control book last night. You want me to continue on the PDF sheets so you get a better understanding? Or if you understand it, it's not necessary for me to go over it. It's entirely up to you, gentlemen. Now these are nice. You get them going on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bang, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm just playing a little bit of a jazz straight ahead time. Okay? And you want to get organized, you can say, all right, Marcio. Yeah, well, you're going to have to buy the other book for $25. That's the PDFs. You have to send my PayPal account $25. Okay, so now I'm playing a jazz style. Let's do line 1. I'm going to play 4 measures. 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, line 2. Ah. 1, 2, 3, here you go. I can't see. I quit. You get the idea. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm going to take my glasses off. I probably could see better without my glasses. All right. Bing, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I don't need to go. You understand it, Bob. You understand it. Everybody understands, so I don't have to continue on the simplicity of that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get it by Monday. We're going to go to, and this is in a syncopation workbook, as a matter of fact. I'll give you a little taste of it. We're going to go to come on. Page 12, lesson 5. Okay? I don't have the PDF, I'm sorry, but it should be on the 4. Line 4, good question, I guess. I wrote this 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, the way it's written on line 4, if you look at it without the triplets, let's just play what's written on line 4. You have only a quarter note on line 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm rolling all the way over to 4. 1 and 2 and 4. Then I continue the triple roll. And 1 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I'm ending the roll on 4. 4 on the last and not the first of the triplet. The accent on it should be on the 4. If that is just a mistake. Okay? Now I want to continue. I should have taken the damn PDFs out. Jesus. Line 4, I'm rolling over to 4. All right, I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then I continue to roll. And 1 and 2, 3 and 4. All right, we'll get to that in a second. No, that's a mistake. I wanted you just to go, see, we're working with the triplet roll. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there's a difference with the triplet roll and the 32nd note, 16th note roll. Or it's not a 16th note roll, 32nd note. Oh. If you go to page 5, it's just another way for you instructors out there to teach the stick and the syncopation. But go over to page 5. Page 12, lesson 5. Oh man. Let me know when you guys are there. Syncopation book, page 12, lesson 5. Everybody let me know when you're there before I continue. Everybody on page 12, lesson 5. Let me know when you're there. I'm trying to show you the difference between the triplet roll and the 32nd note roll. You there? All right. All right, now, I don't know what you want to call the lesson. We could call it fill-ins with the roll. All right, for example, I'm on line 1. You have a dotted 8th note and a 16th note. That's played 1 E and Then you have 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Let me play the line for you. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Okay, so now, I didn't play the whole line, I played 2 measures. We're going to play what's there, but we're going to fill in the blanks with 32nd notes. 1 E and Okay, 1 E and 2. Again, I'm I'm going to write this all out for you. So I'm showing you the difference between triplet rolls, 16ths. Okay, now 1E and 2. Oh Lord, everything's going wrong today. All right, we have 1E and 2. 3E and Do you see what I'm doing? Let me do it slow. The first measure, it's 1, that's an accent, E and 2, E and 3, E and 4, E and 1. Got it? Any questions on that? I'm playing what's there, but I'm filling in the blanks. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and 1. All right. Do we understand that, gentlemen? I'm going to write that out as well. And send it to you guys. So you have the difference between a triplet roll and a 32nd note roll, the 16th. Okay? Now, what happened? Do we understand it before I go any further? Because I want to do an exercise from 2 different exercises from the stick control book pertaining to the triplet rolls in the 16th note, 32nd note rolls. Do we understand it? Robert, Hoist, Ed, Marcio, Jim? Okay. I'm going to write it all out for you, another 2 or 3 pages. I won't have it for you tonight, that's for sure. We're going to go to the stick control book, and we're going to go to page 8. Okay. Now you understand it, Ed. We're going to go to page 8. The first line is 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we could do this a few different ways. Here's the first way. The first way you should be doing it. Play the 8th notes, then you get to the triplets. You good? You're good to go? Okay, good. So you have. Man, this left hand sucks. Line 2, starting with the left hand. Now we played the line as written, but I've added double strokes. With the triplet, I made it a triplet roll. Instead of playing 3 and 3 and 4 and I'm playing 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Do we understand what I'm doing there? And like I tried to explain last night, if you go over to page 9, we're going to tag the vamp on it. First, we'll just play the line as written. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. No response. Okay. Kind of frustrating. But that's where we're going to stay for a while. I will send you the agenda and some PDFs for Monday. Now, tonight I'll be here at 7:30. There's a change in time and change in location. Okay? Now, we understand the difference between the 30-second note roll and the triplet roll? Want me to give him a better explanation? It's up to you guys. You're good to go, Jim. Hoist, you understand it. Ed, you understand it. Robert understands it. You want me to give a better explanation, the difference between the triplet roll and the 30-second note roll? I just like to have fun eventually. You know, these are exercises right now, and we can put them into some patterns, I guess. Some 1, 2, 4, and 1. Something simple. 3 and 4. You want a better explanation of that, Hoist? Is that what you want? The triplet roll. Eighth notes, triplets. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Data roll. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Back to triplets. Roll. Okay, that's the eighth. I'm doing eighth note triplets, eighth note triplet roll. Now I'm going to do 16th notes, and I'm going to do 32nd note roll. 1. I'm doing 16ths. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Now the roll. 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and 1. The 32nd notes? Okay. We had a question a couple of weeks back. How do you count 32nd notes? Well, you don't. You just make 16ths. You count 16ths. The way I do it anyway. I'm counting 16ths. 1, E, and the. Now that's 16ths. Here's the pulse. And the, 2, E, and the. Now I'll stay exactly there. However, that's 16 notes. I want 32nd notes. 2 times 16 is what? 32. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, 4. 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2, the 3 E and the 4 E and the. that clarify it, dear Hoist? Does that help everybody with the 30 seconds, good gentlemen? The difference between the 30 seconds. I'm playing 16ths, and I'm doubling the stroke. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E. Now double the stroke. 1, E, and the 2. 3, E, and the 4, E, the 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E. Triple dial, 1, E. It's not the same. You have the difference between triplets. Eighth note triplets. See, this tells me a few things here of how you can compare things. If you did the table of time, that's the the fourth line in Joe Morello's book, the eighth note triplets. I just played the first measure. Now, if I take that first measure of that eighth note triplets, go to the groupings of 6. See, I'm playing the triple. I'm counting 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and but you can count it 1, 2, 3. That's eighth note triplets. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go to grouping of 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The 32nd notes, if I'm playing a grouping of 4 from the table of time. 3, E, and and I want to double that. Okay, I'm going to go to groupings of 8. Hello. That's the grouping of 4. I'm going to go to groupings of 8. When I play the groupings of 8, I'm not thinking 1. I am thinking 1, E, and but I'm doubling it. 1, E, and 2. If you count the number of strokes from the distance of 1 to 2, you're going to get 8 strokes. And it's not the same. Here's the triplet roll. 1 and 3. Now I'm doubling that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's the triplet roll. Now I'm going to go to 16ths to 30 seconds. So I'm playing 16ths. 1, E, and 2. Now 30 seconds. 3, E, and 4, E. It's not the same. Oh, let me get all these pop-ups the hell out of here. Jesus. Oh, man. Do you understand the difference now, Hoist? Talk to me. Who's this? Jeffrey. When did you come in? How you doing, Jeff? I didn't get no email from you, man. We're back tonight on the same channel, 7:30. Let's see what we got in the chat here. You understand the difference now, the eighth note triplet and the 16th. You got it, Randy. When did you get here? Stop sneaking in, man. Say hello. Then you can sneak out. Jeffrey, you understand what we did? Jeffrey Cole? Hey, Jim, I watched that video on the stick control book challenge. What are they kidding? I mean, you take a company like that, they're making a fortune. And they're not giving any information out, in my opinion. It's just a display of their abilities as opposed to teaching. You there, Jimmy? Okay. Jimmy, you there? There's a video that's circulating around YouTube. I'm not bashing anybody. It was a female drummer. She did a really nice job. I didn't agree with a whole lot of it, but what's the big deal? Turn the metronome on and play down the page. You're doing it with the vamps. That's the way George Lawrence Stone intended it. Anybody can play that. If you play it for a week, 3 hours, 4 hours a day, you can memorize it. Why is that funny that they're doing stick control? I mean, I don't know. It's not, it's business, Jim. They could do whatever they want. They could do stick control book, the Morello book, the Table of Time. They could do Chafee books. It don't matter. My point is this. What is the challenge? What is the challenge? That you go through 1 through 12 without a mistake? And this bullshit about Dom Famularo said to do it this way, that's nonsense. He don't even know how to play the damn thing the way George Lawrence Stone intended it. And I don't give a shit if he's listening or not. Pisses me off, guys like that. And those drummers follow him. That company's making a fortune with bullshit. He's got 10, 12 guys working for him. He's an entrepreneur. God bless him, man. The guy's brilliant. He does his thing with that. Drumming-wise, I don't know, man. But, I mean, you should be doing you should be doing the stick control book every day. At least the left-hand side of the page. How many people here honestly could say they do that every day? I'm not going to do it 10 times. You do it with the vamp. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, line 2. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, vamp 1. So on and so forth. I mean, what's the problem? You do. That's good for you, Robert. You do them in the 3 sticking positions, the full stroke, the half stroke, and the quarter stroke? You don't want to hurt yourself now. I mean, that's a lot of practice. Randy, what's the matter with you? You got to loosen up. You're taking the challenge, huh? Stick control book. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Just thinking inside of there where I'm going. But, I mean, that's, have some fun with it. As half strokes is okay. I didn't have anything to do with it. If I did, good. But anyway, My personality is not suited for this. I'm not a nice guy. I'm too serious. I should joke around. I met a couple of those guys in person, and well, there's two people from that company, Drumeo, that I have a total huge respect for, and that's Bruce Becker. He's a great technician, and Mike Michalko. All right, and then I met Mike Johnston, or whatever his name is, from his site. You know. Anyway, I'm getting prepared for next Sunday. It's a lot of work. Well, the vamping is, that's how I learned, Robert, the vamping. The vamping is, I mean, I got it from Joe. Joe got it from the man, Stick Control, George Lawrence Stone. You know, you got to commercialize yourself, especially, when you buy a book and there's really no explanation. You see a whole shitload of sticking. So it's repeat each exercise 20 times. You got to say something, and it's like the formula book. There's no explanation in there. And that's more or less like a networking thing that I did, because if you purchase the book or you purchase the PDFs, to get the full advantage of that, you need to come and visit me on this site or my site. And that stimulates more students to me. It's just a business thing. It's how you promote yourself, how you put yourself out there. I mean, you want to sit teacher to teacher to teacher. Everybody has their approach. Everybody's different. I stick to my approach because it's my approach. And my approach is what I learned from Morello. And I learned from a lot of Morello students. And I